It's Lawrence Romanowski from Porsche Center Calgary, and I haven't done many videos for a while because our sales team has been doing them, but I thought I'd step in and do a video on this Panamera because it is a very special car. So this is a 2016 Panamera Turbo S exclusive series. All right, so it's one of 100 cars worldwide, and it's by far the most expensive Panamera that Porsche has ever sold. This car had in US dollars, it had a $63,000 price premium over the normal, if you can call it normal, Panamera Turbo S. Okay, so, and this extra $63,000 went to individuality and handwork, mostly in the interior of the car, but also in the exterior as well. Okay, so Porsche has a division which is centered around a custom workshop, which is a separate building. And when you order CXX options, or some of the more unusual Porsche options, the car is taken off the assembly line and driven to another building in Zuffenhausen, the custom tailoring workshop. And they'll then actually dismantle the car or dismantle the parts that they need from it and do all of the custom work. Okay. Even things like the sport exhaust used to be done in the custom workshop, although there's some items now which they were able to incorporate during the normal assembly process, which is of course a lot more efficient. And in this custom workshop, it's not very big. And there are a couple of bays that would be dedicated to, really elaborate builds for very special customers, cars that might take several months and might have $200,000 or $300,000 worth of optional equipment on them. And then they probably only have room for 10 or 15 other cars at a time, which is why when you order a CXX option, it adds to the delivery time because it has to go in this custom workshop. To promote this custom workshop and these CXX options, Porsche does a run of exclusive series of all their models. The Panamera, they have a version, and upstairs actually we have a Macan in that version. They did a gold 911 Turbo S, which was at Rennsport and which was shown in various car shows. So they'll take the model line, and then they'll make one exclusive series in very limited numbers, and they'll use the custom tailoring workshop, and they'll create these bespoke cars with as many or all of these CXX options that they can fit. All right, so these would include fine detailing and leather coverings for parts of the car that wouldn't normally be covered in leather. Like for instance, most cars or most near luxury cars would have a leather seating surface. But additionally, some cars might have a leather seat back, but very few would have, the leather seat base. The dashboards in most cars under $100,000 are synthetic, but as you get into the luxury cars, you can get a leather dashboard, or at least parts of it are leather. But then you can get even more intricate and get like paint or cover all the dash area and stitch around all the vents and so forth with exclusive options. And that extends also to the air vents and every little part of the car. Okay, so at first glance, you may not realize that all the handwork involved, but as you get in it and look closer, you'll find the details that pop out with you, that every little single square inch has something special about it. If you buy a $500,000 car, you might expect this details. In a mass-produced or volume German car, you wouldn't. So even with Porsche, on a $200,000 Panamera, for instance, you'd get a beautiful car and a fast car and a well-engineered car, and you'd get leather dash and a leather door tops, but you wouldn't get necessarily leather air vents or a leather seat base, etc. Okay, so that's what the CXX option does, and that's what the exclusive series do. And the exclusive series, then they have their designers come up with a really striking and unique car that has all the normal options and performance of a Turbo S, but adds on it with $60 or $70 or $80,000 worth of handwork. The most striking difference is the two-tone paintwork, where what we used to call a cove in classic cars, which is the center of the door, starting with the air vent that exhausts the low pressure from the wheel well. Well, this is all in a bronze, and it fades all the way to black. So you have to look at it in the sunlight, and it's very subtle because you may not notice it at first, but this portion of the car is very clearly a bronzy chestnut brown, and then it's hand painted and hand blended into the car. And then they did the same thing on the wood, which we can show you a close-up of. We start with the wood trim, the brown wood trim, and then it blends into piano black. So it's a burl walnut and then fades into piano black. So it's really quite subtle and quite beautiful. So they made about 100 of these cars, and we'll show you stills of all the different bits of it. And I can read from the option list. They made 100 of these cars worldwide, and they're signed with a plaque in the dash. And this one here is number 23 of 100. Okay, so in Canada, we would have only got a handful of these cars, and Porsche Calgary didn't even get one. And the reason is that they only go to what Porsche calls exclusive dealers. Now this is 4 dealers out of 19 in Canada, and you have to be in a large center to be an exclusive dealer. We'd love to be an exclusive dealer. We certainly sell a lot of high-end cars here, but the city's not big enough. So this car was sold out of Pfaff. We didn't even get one. This is the first one we've seen. And this is a 2016, and it has 4,300 kilometers. So it's a barely driven car. It's basically a brand new 2016 car. Its MSRP was $313,000. That was before freight and PDI, so we're in the 316 or 317,000. To read through the equipment here, the sport exhaust, active safe, lane change assist, lane departure warning. We have the reversing camera and park assist, voice control. All this stuff's fairly normal on a Panamera Turbo. We have the LED lights, air intake grills painted, rear view mirror in leather, cooling compartment in the rear. That's a really unusual option. So you get the fridge in the rear seats, and it's part of the Panamera exclusive series, jet black metallic, Chester brown metallic coves, and interior two-tone black and Agatha Chester brown. All right. So it's a brand new 2016 Panamera Turbo S Executive, 570 horsepower. This car, it's the most expensive Panamera that Porsche's ever sold. It has all of the options, including the Burmester sound, but the real special bit out of it is to see all the special pieces inside. So we're fortunate to have this car. Probably, I'm guessing 7 or 8 would have come to Canada. There can't be very many with 4,300 kilometers. And so it's a real opportunity. And I should mention, it's a big saving from new because it has depreciated. So it's a great opportunity for somebody to get a very special, unique, numbered Porsche at a big discount from when it was new. So I hope it'll appeal to somebody, and I think it's just a really special, wonderful car. Very subtle in the black and brown. It's just a wonderful machine. Okay, so with that, Lawrence Romanowski from Porsche Center, Calgary. Thank you for viewing, and if you have a chance to stop by and have a look at the car, I'm sure you'll be very impressed with it. Thank you very much.